Is there anything that I should look out for when completing an enterprise agreement with my employer? We've looked at very specific clauses, but in a general sense, what should I be looking out for?
Look, enterprise agreements are what an employer will, usually they're quite a big employer, so there's usually, we don't see them in small to medium-sized businesses, we tend to see them in larger businesses. But an enterprise agreement is effectively a way where the business can enter into a general agreement with their employees where the award is overridden by the enterprise agreement. Look, I'm not an employment lawyer in that space. I don't do those sorts of agreements as much. So I will caveat with saying this is at the very edge of my awareness in terms of what we do. But enterprise agreements as a general rule are there they have to be more generous and they have to be approved by Fair Work. So they have to be more generous than the award in some aspects at least, so that it justifies taking away from other protections that a modern award might create. And some businesses might do that because the modern award doesn't suit their particular style of business, but it applies to their business because of that general characterization of what they do. So ultimately what you need to look out for with an enterprise agreement is all of the materials around what Fair Work has said about it. Usually there is a joint representation approach for the employees. Obviously, if you're coming into a business that has an enterprise bargaining agreement in place, then you need to consider that as part of your contractual rights and know that you're not going to be able to rely on the award. You have to look at the enterprise agreement that you're actually entering into, and you can't rely on that general award protection. But ultimately, it just becomes down to your contractual arrangements with the employer, because an enterprise agreement, like a modern award, overrides any contract that is not consistent with it. And so really you just got to make sure that your contract, is someone that you're willing to work for, because usually the contracts will refer to the EBA, and the EBA will be very clear on what is and isn't allowed and isn't fair for you. And know that you can't go back to the award and say, I've been paid lower than the award. Well, if that's allowed under the EBA, then it's allowed. Now, why is that allowed? Well, usually it's been allowed because there's benefits elsewhere. And the business style requires that. So if you need an EBA reviewed, let us know. We can put you in the hands of the right person.